Hello, hello, I'm Kads, and welcome to today's video. So yes, I'm finally getting back into the swing of things. For those who don't know, I did make a post on my community tab page, but for the past week and a half, I've been coming off of the flu. Now, the actual flu didn't last all that long, but the worst part was the post-viral cough, which apparently is a very, very common after symptom, so to speak. So today is the first day I was kind of feeling a lot better, well enough at least to speak in complete sentences without going into a massive coughing fit. So it kind of lines up perfectly. It is Christmas Day, the time of this recording. So Merry Christmas to all of those who celebrate, and Happy Holidays to the rest of you who don't. But yeah, we're in the last few hours here of the Yuletide deck of Fate. And yes, I'm going to be going for Hilvi, the Rhyme Cold. She does seems like an excellent support champion, mainly in my mind for PvE, but I think she could also make some headwinds in PvP as well, especially if you have Tormin, of course. But yeah, I didn't have a chance to do a full free-to-play review of the Yuletide deck of Fate, but the kind of abridged version is that, you know, I think she's worth it if you have, especially if you have Tormin, and then she's worth it for me, of course. And this is a Dungeon Divers or Gear Hunters plus Soul Summoning, and there is boosted rates on Mortal Soul Stones. We'll take a look at that in a second here. But as you can see, over the past 4 days or so, I've managed to get myself 4,300 points from the Dungeon Divers element of it, and thus I will do the rest of it with Soul Stones. The notable features of this particular deck of Fate are, of course, you're getting a lot of champion fragments, some glyphs, legendary tomes, nice promo shard, some dust, some powder. But again, main thing here is, of course, the champion fragments. There are 17 common cards, 14 rares, and 9 epics, meaning the odds are pretty low that you're going to get 3 epics in a row because there is no pinning in this particular iteration. But if you do happen to get 3 of a kind in a row, then you can't roll on these particular tables. But yeah, down here we have the standard table for the Gear Hunters aspect and then the Soulstone aspect. And in terms of what I would normally coin the nerf applier, meaning the nerf or the degradation of these rates relative to the peak values that we've seen in the past, this is at 70%. So it's not the worst, with the worst being 60%, i.e. the Freya deck of Fate, the infamous Freya deck of Fate. 70% is not great, but it's pretty typical for guaranteed champions that they're going to be in the 80 or to 70% range, at least nowadays. So in terms of my plans when it comes to the Soulstones themselves, you can see here we have a plethora of Mortal Soulstones, a decent amount of Immortals as well. So 664 on the Mortals, 27 on the Immortals. I plan to do this to get the rest of the entirety of the deck of Fate in 10 Immortals and then 410 Mortals. So I haven't pulled Soulstones for a couple of months, maybe 3 or 4-ish at this point. So that's why I have a massive stockpile at this point. And to me, you know, I kind of wait for good events, and that is completely subjective. But in this case, this to me feels like a good event that feels worth it. Moreover, it's just a champion that I would like to have on my account. They've obviously offered other champions, like Void Legendaries to be fair, in the past or recent months, but they didn't feel good enough that they were worth my resources. But Hilvi is definitely a lot different compared to those, and at least in my opinion. And so I think she's worth the resources, worth the investment. But even then, even so, based on the numbers I just said, I'm not going to go be pulling all the way down to 0, so there's still going to be some leftovers just in case they surprise us with some other good event in the near term. So yeah, as you can see here, there is the 2x chance on the 5 and 6 star perfect souls from the Mortal Soul Stones, but of course we're not going to get our hopes too high because it's still a relatively low chance that you get those high rolls in general. Plus the 5 and 6 star rates are independent of the rarity rate, and so you could get, you know, a bunch of 6 star rares, for example, which may not be as exciting as, of course, of like a 6 star mythical. In terms of who we're looking for, this is my current wish list. So we have Arnorn, Nishak, and Queen Ava as the legendaries. At this point, I've committed to getting Marius to 6 stars with Soul Essence. So he's not really on the list currently, but he's currently at 4 stars. So I just plan to use my Soul Essence for that purpose, so that's why he's not here. And then epics have been the same for a while. I do have 2 Whispers now, so I do want the second one to as high as possible. So 6 star Crushing Wind on the second one would be ideal, but anything for the second Whisper would be great because she's currently a baseline. And then Suai, Basher, just kind of some random epics that are useful. And then these are my same rares that I run forever, but I just want them ideally 5 or 6 star for these rares. So we've got a lot of souls to get through, so let's dive right in. We'll just start it off with the Immortal Soul Stones, not really bury the lead here. We're just going to do a quick 10 pop. Obviously the Immortals are not boosted at all during this, so it's just mainly for the sake of getting the points, but we're not necessarily hoping for something amazing, but I'll definitely take it. Okay, Ghostborn, don't have that champion unfortunately. 4 star Tagore would be pretty nice. Cecilia, I think that's the new Void Legendary chick, who I don't have, of course. And a 4 star Jorg might be useful. 6 star Bloodfeather, not the best, but we'll take it. And Hilda, I recently got her actually. She used to be a fusion epic, I believe, for the last fusion, which is last traditional fusion. Or maybe hybrid, I forget which. But anyways, some potentially useful epic souls there, but nothing crazy there. And a couple legendaries who I do not Atlas collect these soul coins. Love that. Good towards the 6-star Maris we just talked about. And yeah, let's dive into the main event here, which of course is the Mortal Soulstone. So 410 to get through. So let's just get right into it. It's going to be a while before we can burn through all of that. We're starting it off cold with a 1-star for Ishiyama, a previous fusion. Hey, 5-star Astrolith. I'll actually take that. That's great. I think my Astrolith right now is at 2 stars, so that's a lot of resistance. And I do have her in like a very fast resistance build. Maybe we'll take a look at that a bit later, but we'll take that. That's a big upgrade. Intimidating Presence is what I'm currently running on her. Cladna, do not have her. And then Gear Grinder, I think he's currently at 4 stars. So Wishlist proc, but not exactly what we're looking for. Let's keep it going here. And yeah, I do apologize in advance. I'm going to try and make it through this as quickly as possible, but there may or may not be some coughing throughout this, so just bear with me, as like I said, I'm still recovering from the flu. Another proc on the wish list, not much exciting there. 3-star Cavlax, pretty decent, but that is exactly where he is right now, so we're going to be selling that one. A 5-star Vanguard, unfortunate that it is a rare on that proc. Next up, we have 1-star Basher, not helpful. I think my Basher is at 3 or 4 stars, so we're looking for something a little bit higher than that. Wow, 3-star Cavalax, again, crazy. And then 4-star Ultan of the Shell, very, very bad champion. Not really excited about that one. 2-star Hellborn Sprite, again, I think she's at 4 stars, so we're looking for we want the 5-star, 6-star to proc on the rare, just because it's like a 60% chance or whatever to get a rare. But of course, we'll definitely take a 5-star, 6-star legendary as well. But obviously, the rates for that are low. Double wish list, low tiers, not upgrades on either of those. So yeah, it's definitely going to take a while to get through the 410. I definitely have not pulled this many more mortals in one go in a probably ever. Actually, this might be my largest. Ooh, there's the headline. There's the tagline there. Largest mortal soulstone summoning ever. We'll put that in the title or something. But 2-star Chigor, do not have the champion. Another proc on the rare wish list. Not super exciting here. Next 10 pop. It's not looking good. Okay, 5-star rares that I don't care about. Hellfreak and Kunoichi. I think, what does she do? I think it's like ally protection and something other, but yeah, or leech maybe, I forget. She's not really that good. 1-star Nishak, legendary wishlist proc at least, but Nishak for me I think is at 2 stars, so we're looking for 3-star or ideally 5-star for the accuracy and also the higher effect of lethal dose, which is what I currently run on him. 1-star for Arnorn, that's currently where he is on the wish list. Feral the Bloodhorn do not have, or Bloodhorn, the Barkhorn, I think that's his name. Don't have him, but we'll take the 1-star soul in case he ever happens to pop out. Moving right along into the next 10 pop here. I guess I always forget to mention, but we're still in the market for a 1-star, well, I shouldn't say 1-star, but any star Galathier soul. It's been probably a year and a half of me having Galathier, and I still don't have a soul for him. Even like I would take a 1-star for sure. But have not managed to get one at all, which is kind of surprising. I have like literally every other mythical soul except for like the brand new ones that just entered the game in the past couple of months. I forgot who that 1-star was, but not that useful, unfortunately. 5-star Ox, 2-star Karosa. Okay, that's a new soul for the mythical collection of mythicals I don't have. And then the 3-star on Hellborn, 2-star on Gear Grinder, not helpful, but yeah, we'll take it. Karosa added to the soul of the collection of mythical souls. 1-star wish list again for Nishak. Unfortunate. Again, we're looking for like a 3 to 5-star for the Nishak to be an upgrade. He's currently at 2 stars, so that is a bit of a bummer. Next 10 pop here. We should be running out of space fairly soon. Not exactly sure how many we've pulled so far, but I'll do the math afterward just to make sure we don't overshoot, of course. 1-star King Galgabar, not exciting. 1-star Tormin. I think my Tormin's at 2 or maybe, I think 1 or 2 stars. So that might be the same. So we're probably going to sell that one. And then I think this might be the last 10 pop. before we have to make some space. We'll see. We'll see if I'm correct on that. 1-star Whisper. We'll take it. Like I said, my second Whisper is a baseline, so that is technically an upgrade for her, but ideally we'd get a little bit higher. And then 3-star Vlad might be an upgrade as well, but yeah, I'll make some space and we'll get right back into the polls. All right, 120 mortals down and a bunch to go, so let's dive right back in. Space has been made. Let's see if we can improve on our baseline luck so far. So the highlights from the first set were Whisper 2 getting a soul, which is great. I'll start her off with Phantom Touch, but eventually if I get her to 6-star as well, then it will be switching over to Crushing Rend. A couple of Wishlist procs, nothing there. Baby, and of course I got his 5-star, or up to the 5-star soul from the Hero's Path or Titan event. I forget which one. I think it was Hero's Path. Astraliz went from 2 to 5, which is pretty substantial. Again, we'll take a look at her later. And then Vlad went from 2 to 3-star. So those are the highlights so far. Whereas this 10 pop is definitely the low light. So let's keep it going here, see what we can do. Next 10 here. Elder, Apothecary, Flailer, Blade Wolf. Oof, bunch of rares. Another Wishlist proc, too low on the 2-star, not helpful. And then, yeah, pretty rough 10 pull on that one, unfortunately. Legendary, 2-star Morrigan. I think she might actually not be awakened. Mythical, 1-star Nell, another mythical. 2-star Androck. Don't have either of those. And I do think I have higher souls for both of them, so those will probably both be sold. But that might be an upgrade for Morrigan. I think she's actually baseline. I think she's a 0 at the moment, so we'll definitely take that. I don't know what blessing to put on her just yet. Maybe Intimidating Presence as well, because she does have a speed aura. Legendary, 2-star Newt. Okay. Think mine is actually, that might be an upgrade. I think my Newt is at 1-star, so we'll take that little bit of attack, which does not help him at all. But hey, stars are stars. So maybe he takes a little less damage from Fire Knight if he ever gets a turn. Let's see. Next 10 pop here. What do we got? Bunch of epics, bunch of rares, bunch of low stars. Unfortunate. Moving right along. Let's see what we can get from the next 10 pop here. Again, still in the market. We've seen a handful of mythicals so far, but none of them have been the Galather that we seek. There we go. 5-star Suwai. I think that's actually good enough for my needs, so I might actually want to take her off of the wish list. 2-star Nishak. Unfortunately, that is exactly where he is at the moment. All right, so a quick swap out on the wish list. The 5-star soul will definitely work for Suwai. I do use her in my traditional Demon Lord Clan Boss team, so that's a lot of extra stats for her, lots of damage, which will be good. But we dropped in Dur the Hunger, one of the revivers that I use for Faction Wars, or I depend on for Faction Wars. And so I find that it's really hard to keep your revivers alive without awakening in hard mode Faction Wars. So I think my Dur is currently at 2 stars, so I'd like to get him to 4-star and beyond. So we'll see if we can make that happen today. I did get the 4-star Tagore soul earlier in this session, so I'll have to test him out next time Orcs comes around and see if he can actually survive in stage 14 against the boss, because he gets one shot by the maidens right now, at least as it stands. 1-star Marinix, don't have her. One of the few handful of fusions that I actually messed up and didn't complete in my time playing the game. But yeah, fun story on that one. But Flesh Tear, 6-star, not exciting, but I do have him. No, won't use him though. Unfortunately, not a good champion. 6-star rare, a Centurion. Wish that was one of the ones from the wish list. Really do. Oh well, let's keep it going here. See what else we can get. Legendary 2-star Bambus. Okay, I think my Bambus, even though I don't use him, is currently at 1 or 2 stars. It's not too exciting there. A 4-star Fighty Teal Crest, I believe that's the champion's name. Don't have him for legendary, of course, but I think that is an upgrade to the current soul that I have, so we'll take it, I guess, if we ever get him. Not hold my breath on that one though. Let's see what we can get here. 1-star Hellborn Sprite. Now what we want to see. I think she's currently at 4 stars, so ideally it'd be 5 or 6. Ethos 2-star. I think I have a soul for him at 3-star, so that's not an upgrade, that's the same, so we'll sell that one as well. And I guess all of these, the ones that get sold are going to be converted into more coins, which technically could be used for Immortal Soulstones, but moreover, they're probably going to be used for Essence. And finally, Ah, we managed to do it. Years and years, it feels like, after getting Galather. We finally have a soul for my Galather. So the 2-star soul, we'll take it. Hey, I'm not going to be too mad about that. So I guess that's HP and attack, and a little bit of the effect. My plan for him was always to go for Life Harvest, and so we'll definitely be able to make use of that. So finally, an awakened Galather on my account. Super excited for that one. All right, 240 mortals down, over halfway. Let's jump right in. Space has been made. So honestly, I'm kind of satisfied already. We finally got the Galather soul that I've been asking for months and months now. So at this point, anything else we get is definitely a bonus. Of course, proccing the wish list, high stars, etc. would still be good to see, but honestly, the baseline here, I'm pretty darn satisfied. 3-star Halakath, another champion fusion that I messed up historically in the past, kind of rubbing me the wrong way with these soul stones here, but no big deal. We can't complain anymore. Super happy. Let's see what we can get, though. We still have a lot of mortals to get through, and this is what we deserve here. That 10 pop is fair. That's fair. That's totally fair. All right, next one. Let's see if we can turn our luck around. Legendary 3-star wish list. Hey, we'll take it. Queen Ava, awesome. She's going from 0 to 3 stars, so she gets the attack. Ideally, would have been 4-star. Not gonna lie. I'll still keep her on the list for now, but that will take it. Extra attack and whatnot, and a little bit more potency. Actually, I don't think she currently has a. Well, no, obviously she doesn't have a blessing. I don't know what I'm gonna pick on her yet. Probably Heaven Cast, maybe. Maybe that makes sense. I'll have to think about that a bit. But yeah, 1-star Whisper, duplicate there for the Whisper number 2. Unfortunate. Hopefully we can get maybe 2-star. I give at least 2-star actually, because that gives her the attack. But we'll definitely take that, though. I honestly, though, I do wish that wish list had procced on Nishak instead, not going to lie, because that 3-star in him would have been a lot more substantial, because that's an extra tier of lethal dose. 6-star Umbral Enchantress. We'll definitely take that one. That's definitely an upgrade for her. Use her as needed in... actually, no, she's on my auto team for Faction Wars Hard, so helps her be a little bit more tanky and I guess a little bit faster as well, more accuracy and defensive stats, so that is a good upgrade there. Legendary on the last one, 1-star Leo. That's exactly where the current Leo soul that I have is, and I don't have Leo, so it doesn't really matter. 5-star rare and epic that are pretty useless trash. Okay, moving right along to the next 10 pop. Legendary 2-star Archbishop Penthroy. I think that's where my current soul, or my current Penthroy is. Zarguna, 1-star. I think that's a duplicate of that. Don't have the champion, but she's terrible anyways. Another 1-star Basher, 1-star Dr. Lahane. Not upgrades on either of those. Next 10 pop here. 1-star Allure. My Allure is at 5-star, so that is not helpful. 2-star Flush Tear. Not exciting. 2-star Ugo. My Ugo is currently at 6-star? 5-star? I think she's a 5-star. Maybe 6, I forget exactly, but one of the two. But either way, 2-star doesn't help us. Bummer. Next 10 pop here, let's see what we can do. Bunch of rares, and they're all 1-star. You hate to see it. Okay, an epic 2-star Rectored Wrath. The Rectored Wrath is definitely 6 stars, so that's not helpful. And then another wishlist proc that doesn't help us, 3-star. Darn. Yeah, the rares, I feel like we've seen a couple of 6-star rares, maybe a couple of 5-star rares, but we're not getting those to line up with the wishlist, unfortunately. 2-star Duck the Pierced, that's currently where he is. Lady Arash, 1-star, I think that's lower than where she is. 2-star Drissy, I think that's exactly where she is, so lots of more souls to sell. Tashada, I've never actually 6-starred her, but she is kind of like waiting. I think I fully empowered her. She's like +4 and just waiting in case I need her. But like Soul of the Drakes kind of, takes the cake in terms of Barbarian Revivers and whatnot. But if ever some restrictive content comes around, I might build her as well. 4-star epic there, nothing to say. What was it saying? Say home about? Wow, I'm forgetting the idiom right now. But anyways, next time pop here. Let's see what we can get. Reliquary Tender, 1-star, not helpful. 2-star Kale, not great. 1-star Esme the Dancer. I think she's currently at 0, so that's an upgrade for her, I guess. 3-star Ceres and a 2-star Artemage. Not much to say from that one, aside from the Queen Ava, of course. All right, 360 down, 50 remaining, and that should get us all the cards in the deck, which may or may not be necessary. The odds are really likely that you're gonna have to flip all the cards in the deck. So, the odds, I think, somewhere between or average would be between like 37 and 40 cards. So going all the way out there is kind of the safest bet to guarantee yourself the champion. And lots of wishlist procs here, but they're all low tier, unfortunately. 2-star Ignatius, that might be an upgrade 6-star rare, but not one from the wishlist, unfortunately. Kind of surrounded by wishlist, which is egg on the face there. But 1-star Wixwell, I think I got his soul from maybe not a Titan event, maybe a Hero's Path. I think he's at 3-star, so it's not an upgrade there. 5-star rare, not from the wish list, unfortunate once again. Another 5-star rare. And then another Duck that Appears to Terror Beast, not that exciting. 3 more 10 pops, then we can call it a day here for these souls. See, if we can turn our luck around, or maybe not turn it around, expand on our luck that we've gotten thus far. I think it's pretty decent overall. But 5-star Crimson Home, the 3-star Sylar, I think that's an upgrade. But I don't even know if I've maxed her out on my account. I don't think I have, actually. She's a decent champion, but I just never really needed to use her in particular. 6-star Skytouch Shaman, okay. We'll definitely take that. That is an upgrade for her. 1-star Lamasu, that's currently where she is in the wish list for Dur the Hunger. 1-star, not helpful. And then 2-star Jamar, so I think that's where she is. Another 5-star rare. All right, last 10 pop here. Let's see what we can get. Is it going to be the souls of our dreams or more of the same? Ooh, that's big. Okay, 6-star Gear Grinder. We'll take it. Hey, last 10 pop made all of the difference, and you can see there, yeah, 693 on the points there. It means that we are now done, because obviously it would be 700 points per thing, so pretty much on the dot there to the letter as far as getting the amount of soulstone we needed. So I think 4-star Basher, I think that's exactly where he is, which is unfortunate because I was hoping for the 5-star because that would be the accuracy boost, but whatever, we'll take that. 6-star Gear Grinder is huge, so Ogre Tribes may be able to make some progress there as well. Again, Awakening turns out to be very, very important for hard mode in terms of your champion survivability. All right, so we made it through the soulstones till now. Let's go through the card flip. So based on some simplified math here, on average, let's say that there's about 3 commons, 3 rares, and 1 epic, 1.5-ish epics per row here, so divisible by 5. So let's see if we can work our way through and get some streaks here, ideally the rare and the epic streaks. Okay, so if there are 3 in the top row, then it'd be better to go to a different row and see if we can get a blue. That's fine. We go for the green. Still good to go for a different row. No, we found another blue. Unfortunate. Still go for a different row. Okay, double blue there. Can we get 3 blues? Most likely probably this one. Hey, we got it. Cool. 3 rares in a row is Soul Essence. We'll take it. Okay. I'm sure that'll help me buy someone in the future from the Soul Merchant. So let's restart here with the top row. Okay, uncommon or common card. Let's try to get it. Ooh, got an epic. Okay, let's see. So again, about 1.5-ish per row. So let's see if we can find another. Nope. Okay. Unlucky there, that's fine. So let's pick a row without a common card, or we find another epic. That's okay. Let's see if we can let's try to find the epic in the top row. Unlucky. All right, we got a rare instead. So again, assuming on average 3 rares per row, the most likely outcome would be the rare in the middle row. Yep. And then after that one, the best potential would be row number 2, I think. So let's see if we can get here. No, we find another epic, unfortunately. Okay, so 2 epics so far, so there's still a decent amount of epics left. Again, let's try and find the epic in the top row if there is one. Okay, there's that one, or there's 2 here, so ideally we find one of the epics in the bottom rows. Let's try here. Yeah, we found the blue that I was looking for earlier. No big deal, that's fine. I think the most likely blue in this case from here is probably in row number 2, or we reset it. Okay, but best chance to find a common would be row 3, I think. Nope. Okay, that's a blue. That's fine. Best odds to find a blue would be row 2, I think. No, purple. Man, we're all over the place. We're missing like crazy. All right, so 1, 2, 2. So most likely one of the bottom 2 rows. Nope, we find a blue again. Okay, hit and miss. At this point, I'm committed to finding the blue in the row 2. There may not be another one. Oh man, another purple. Unfortunate. So that's 6 of the epic cards. So the odds are very slim at this point that we get 3 epics in a row. And that might have just sealed our fate. Back to the common cards. Should be in row 3. Okay, and then hopefully we can get the 3rd one. There we go. Cool. 3 in a row is some core hammers. I've actually never used core hammers on my account, believe it or not, because I don't make Swift Parry or deflection sets. All right, fresh streak. Ideally, we don't find the epic right out of the gate. That would be ideal. Okay, there's another rare. So the best chance to find another rare, I think, would be the top row. No, unlucky. Okay, or a common card instead. At this point, it's probably worth taking our chances on the bottom row, looking for the common cards. There we go. Another streak there, unlocked. More core hammers, unfortunate. Pretty useless for me. Fresh streak again. Ideally we can avoid the epic for as long, or the epics for as long as possible to increase the likelihood that we're able to find them. So let's start this row here. Okay, common card, cool. Let's check out the bottom row once again. Damn. All right, we found the epic. So there's only 2 more epic cards. So if we miss this streak, then we're guaranteed to not get an epic. 3 of a kind in a row. Well, since the top seems to have a lot of epics, I would hope that the bottom has the rest of them. Well, it might have, but not in that particular spot. Unfortunate. All right, back to the commons. Let's look in the bottom row, and then we'll also try row 3. No, we found a rare. We have 11 rares flipped so far, so the odds are kind of in our favor here to find a decent amount of rares. I want to try the bottom row first. Okay, we did find it there, and then I think our best chance might be the top row. Unlucky. So I think at this point, it's impossible to get a streak outside of this common one. Oh, it was the top row, but the wrong spot. But it was a 50-50, unfortunately. So yeah, from here on out, it basically doesn't really matter what we do because we can't guarantee a streak, I don't think, anymore. Yeah, we found the last epic card, a common there. There's a rare here, an epic there, and then... yeah, uncommon. Okay, so there we go. It did turn out that we did need to do all 40 flips. The last card flip there was some fragments there, but again, it's practically guaranteed. But nonetheless, we prepared for that. We got all 40 flips in this deck of Fate, which I think might be the 3rd or 4th deck of Fate I've fully completed over the years. But I think in terms of the badge, it's the 2nd one I'm done. But nonetheless, deck of Fate complete, and the champion is mine. But I won't claim her just yet. I'll wait to summon her until this weekend because, of course, there is a champion chase going on for the fusion that I am indeed going for. All right, so that's going to do it for the Yuletide deck of Fate. In terms of the highlights for this soul summoning session, the largest ever on my account, I'm definitely satisfied with the finally obtained soul for my Star Sage Galathir here. So the 2-star soul Life Harvest, as I talked about, is a blessing of choice. I guess the next mythical soul goal would be Empress. I want to run him in Life Harvest as well. I think that's pretty powerful on him in particular. We got a small upgrade on Vlad from 2 to 3 stars, a little bit of extra defense, 0 to 3 stars on Queen Ava. Heaven Cast is what I've chosen for now. If I ever get her to 6-star, maybe I'd switch over to Crushing Rend, even though that's more PvE focused. I think in the arena, the little bit of extra ignore defense could help her block revive on her A2. Newt went from 1-star to 2-star, so a little bit of extra attack, which obviously doesn't help him at all. Suwai went from 2-star to 5-star, upgrade to Phantom Touch, so a lot more damage potential there because of the increased chance to proc as well as the extra stats. Whisper number 2 gets Phantom Touch as well. It's only 1-star, but hey, we got to start somewhere. And then Astrolith going from 2 to 5 stars. I believe that gives her a lot of, well, it does give her a lot of extra resistance. So yeah, now she's 300 speed and over 500 resistance. Honorable mentions for Vaulted Champions, 2-star from 0 on the Morrigan. Probably going to go with Intimidating Presence there. 6-star on the Umbral Enchantress. Currently running Chainbreaker. I might change that to something else, but she went from 2 to 6 stars. Skytouch Shaman as well went from 2 to 6 stars as well. Chainbreaker on her. I might keep that one. That makes sense. And then last but not least, the 6-star Gear Grinder, which should hopefully help me progress in Faction Wars. So once again, hope all of you guys had a lovely holiday season, Christmas, or whatever you happen to celebrate. And I'll be trying my best to get back into the groove of making regular content once again. But yeah, like I said at the beginning, it is difficult for me to talk for long stretches of time without coughing for now. But hopefully the cough should be going away within the next week or 2. Let me know in the comment section down below if you also pulled your Soulstones, and of course let me know if you got anything good from your Soulstone summons. As always, if you did enjoy the video, then be sure to hit the like button down below. It really does help out the channel. And feel free to hit the subscribe button as well if you are enjoying the content overall on the channel for more content just like this one in the future. Thanks for watching and have a good one.